Welcome to Music Row, a backstage pass to your favorite country artists. Here's your host, Leek.
Welcome back to the program. Thanks for the love, the shares, the everything that you're doing right now. It all supports this project, the Music Row podcast. A lot of people talking about the band Lula interview that we just had. When you get the opportunity, if you haven't caught that one yet, go back, give it a listen, get yourself acquainted with the band Lula. Think the Civil Wars. They sound very similar in a lot of their harmonies, a lot of their songs. I caught them play the other day as they're on the road with Dierks Bentley and Zach Top, and they were fantastic. So do that. Get to know them in just a bit. Today's program, special one for sure. Dierks Bentley joins us on Music Row. Dierks Bentley's Broken Branches tour on right now. The album just came out. We're going to talk to him about the album. We'll talk to him about the tour. Dierks Bentley joins us on Music Row in just a bit. He's got like 4 duets on this album. And superstars. Riley Green, John Anderson, Stephen Wilson Jr., Miranda Lambert. We talk all about that. Dierks Bentley coming up on Music Row. Some news: country music is having a moment that's equal parts nostalgic and forward-thinking. Morgan Wallen's I'm the Problem has stormed to the top of the 2025 sales charts, proving he's got staying power in the genre and he's a powerhouse. Meanwhile, the recent CMA Fest wrapped up with some pretty high spirits, raising millions for music education while spotlighting legends and newcomers alike. On the evolution front, the Recording Academy just introduced a new Grammy. The category is Best Traditional Country Album, giving what some would say would be a long overdue recognition to artists who honor the classic sounds. Now, the criteria for this is as follows, and I think this is, I don't know how they judge this stuff. I don't know how this is actually going to work out. Seems very subjective. So the criteria: classical instrumentation, acoustic guitar, steel guitar, fiddle, banjo, mandolin, piano, electric guitar, and live drums, which is about 99% of all country releases that are out there. But I understand. They want to have live drums, no beats, no loops, none of that. Traditional rhythm and vocal phrasing, whatever that means, and lyrical themes that reflect the genre's heritage. So if you're a country music artist and you want to be in the traditional category, don't talk about your new Nintendo Switch, I guess. We'll see how that shapes up. Music Row, Dierks Bentley, coming up.
Wherever there's a heartbeat and a stage, there's an artist set to perform. This is Music Row on Tour.
On Tour brought to you by the Pecan Agency, putting bands and fans together worldwide. Morgan Wallen's I'm the Problem tour is hitting all the big stadiums everywhere in July. July 5, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, Nissan Stadium on July 12, and on the 26th, Morgan Wallen hits Vegas. Luke Bryan, Country Song Came On tour, is hitting Budweiser Stage in Toronto, Ontario, July 10th. On the 19th, playing in Mansfield, Massachusetts. And on the 27th of July, St. Louis, Missouri. And Thomas Rhett's Better in Boots tour rolls through Cowboys Music Festival, coming up on July 6th in Calgary. On the 17th in Toronto, and on the 25th of July, you can find Thomas Rhett in Mountain View, California. Dierks Bentley coming up on Music Row after this.
Hi, my name is Kim Stockwood. I am a proud Newfoundlander and a Canadian singer-songwriter. In a landscape where many lack access to health benefits or employee assistance programs, the Unison Fund serves as a lifeline of hope for musicians and music industry professionals facing medical emergencies or mental health challenges. To learn more about Unison and their programs, please visit unisonfund.ca.
I'm already having the time of my life, and I wanted to just say that to you because it's your fault.
Okay.
Again.
What happened? You've been drinking?
I have not had a single drink, but I was thinking about this earlier today. There's a special spirit that Dierks Bentley has about him, and I'm wondering how many of your friends have said that you're a borderline maniac.
Man, I don't get I get called other things, not maniac. But why maniac?
Well, I think you've got this motor that says we're just going to go out and go, like nonstop. I think resting is a very hard thing to do.
Yes, I do hear that. My wife claims I don't know what a couch looks like, or I don't sit in one very often. I actually had a song that mentions the word couch, and a song called "Gone," and I kept singing porch instead of couch because I just kind of. The porches. I do like a good porch. Not a big couch person. So
when you get these limited breaks on this tour that's going on all summer is incredible. It's booked so great. You have one day on, one day off.
Yeah.
I think you had a moment where you might have had a week off and you found more shows because you were bored again.
Yeah, we're usually gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll have some shows on Sunday, sometimes on Wednesday. And then when I'm home, I'm just doing dad stuff, dropping a kid off at camp, driving, flying people around wherever they need to go do their thing. And
when you say flying, are you still physically flying them around?
Yeah, I'm a pilot. I know. I'm a pilot. Yeah. I'll fly them here and there myself on a little propeller plane, or I have a plane I use with Cessna. I have a sponsorship with them. I use that sometimes. Delta, Southwest, Air Canada, WestJet, whatever it takes to get where I need to go. But yeah, it just and I find little moments here. I'm going to make out to Telluride for a day to watch the Bluegrass Festival one day, and sneaking in some stuff here and there, but mostly just the tour. Just like once you're on tour, it is like it's in charge, and you just kind of you've been to its will basically.
Right.
So
this is your schedule.
Yeah,
it just happens to be in a different city each day.
And if you got days off at home, you're really just resting. Like the last show's on Saturday, then Sunday, Monday, usually just laying pretty low to rest your voice and kind of get your sleep back to somewhere where it needs to be. Then you feel pretty good by Tuesday, and then Wednesday you head back out.
I heard about one of your crew who actually bought a house and was looking at the home while they had 3 days off recently in Nashville.
Oh, really?
And saying it was stressful because it wasn't that regimented thing.
Oh, the
like
road,
being on the road.
Oh, really? The road is like you get out here. Like the food here, this Toronto venue is just ridiculous. And we have a caterer that travels with us too. So the food is everyone does love the food on the road, and it's not a dig at your spouse's cooking. It's just they like it too. There's no cleaning involved. You don't have to think about it. Sit down, eat great food.
Don't have to go buy it, no advancing, no prepping.
You get done. Sometimes they'll even clear your plate for you. And then you go back to your bus and look at the schedule, and it just tells you where you need to be, and you just follow the instructions and paint by numbers. It's pretty easy.
Then you get off tour, and it all goes crazy.
Yes.
Because then you got to start thinking we have to do a new album, which is what you're supporting now. Congratulations.
Thank you.
A new album.
Yeah.
How do you, when a person who can't sit still, how do you manage to put that into a schedule in your off time? And do you have to sit down with a manager and say, by the way, I'm thinking about some duets. Here's a list of 10 people, or is it 20? Or are you just texting people saying, I got this great idea?
Yeah. Well, you get off the road. Yeah. Luckily, most of this record was made without touring. I was home a lot for in between this all fall and winter and the spring. So I was able to spend a lot of time just focused strictly on the record, which is really important because you want them to be separate. You don't want the tour to leak into the record or vice versa. I really want this record to be a standalone project that has nothing to do with the tour. We'll figure that out once we get on the road and all the synergy and branding and all that stuff. But the record was just a lot of songwriting, a lot of listening to songs, a lot of. You're right. I don't do well being in the studio that much or being kind of sitting in a room writing songs for 8 hours. It's kind of hard, but it's really necessary and. It's just work.
That's where you get paid.
Yeah, it's just work. A lot of people are working. Most people are doing stuff they don't want to do all day long. So
I say any job is like that.
Yeah.
The fun stuff you don't get paid for.
No, we don't. When I walk on stage, that's for free. That's just the show is just that's we travel for. We get paid to travel. That's what people always say. Especially in a broken down bus like I have that. Management won't give me a new bus, so it's no. I love this bus. People have been trying to get me to get a new bus for years. I'm like, I love our bus, although it does have a little bit of a transmission issue, so it's hard to sleep on while it's moving, which is a problem.
Ever blow a tire on a bus?
If
blown
happening? A tire, hit a deer, kind of done it all at some point. Yeah,
that's the beauty of being on the road. You're experiencing things. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it isn't.
It works.
Maybe it works its way into a song.
Works its way into a song. Yeah.
But how do you come up with that list again? You've got four co-writes.
Yeah,
it's duets. Sorry.
Yeah, there's nothing strategic about it. So Stephen Wilson Jr., who's a great new artist, he's probably my favorite.
incredible.
Yeah, he's incredible. I wrote those songs. I wrote that song with him. So we wrote Cold Beer Can together, and I said, hey, it'd be pretty cool. You sang on it. Sounds great. Let's do it. Miranda Lambert, I just heard that song and her name popped to mind, like it often does, because I'm just such a huge fan of hers, and she's one of my best friends. And so
she's okay.
and she's a pretty good singer. You know, she might make something of herself if she keeps trying. I just called her up and she said, yeah, I'd love to. It sounds great. Which is, I appreciate it, because there's always more to it than just singing on the song. There's going to be an ask to maybe do a video thing. There's going to be an ask to maybe sing on an award show. It's more than just like saying yes to the studio. So,
and not all songs work with all people.
Yeah.
Even it might, as talented as Miranda Lambert is, or Stephen Wilson Jr., it doesn't mean that song is going to be the one that works.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you don't know until they get on it, for sure. And who else is on this? O'Reilly Green and John Anderson. And I try to return that, not favor, but friends call me up. Brett Kissel, who's a great Canadian artist, he asked me to be part of one of his projects, and it's kind of what we do. We sing on each other's records, and I think it's fun for the fans. When you're building a track, it usually starts off with acoustic guitar, something a little quieter. Then the second verse kicks in by the chorus. The drums are coming in. It builds. When you add another voice, a second voice, it really lifts that track. So I think collaborations are really fun for the fans and listeners. And
do you kind of direct them, or do you say do what you do?
I usually say do what you do.
Because you kind of know what they're gonna do. Is that it?
I mean, it's tricky. Like Broken Branches, I had two artists on that, so I had Riley Green and John Anderson. So that involved a little more nuancing, trying to sit down and kind of figure out who's doing what, because it can get a little chaotic. But some artists, like I have Brandy Carlisle on a song, and that was just like, you do your thing. And,
right.
I'm not going to tell you anything.
Yeah, I'm
not going to tell you how to sing.
And you pull your vocals right off
exactly,
of it and say,
absolutely,
this is a great add-on.
Chris Stapleton's done some stuff back before he was Chris Stapleton on my records. And it's like, can we just pull my voice off it, and just have yours? So I've had a chance to collaborate with some great people, and it just makes it usually lifts the song and makes it even better than it was.
Were there
before.
songs left behind for Broken Branches? Like, did you say, here's 11,
yeah,
but you had maybe 15?
There are a lot left behind, and I'm still trying to figure that out. I try to make a record. To me, an album's like 11 to 13 songs. It's just what the correct length. Yeah. But some people are putting out 30 songs, and I don't know if there's like a financial reason for that I'm just not, I'm too dumb. Yeah, maybe am I just not, I got to figure that out. There's just a lot of songs to try to digest, but when you're as good as an artist as he is and as popular he is, maybe there's a reason for that. But I'm about 13, I start to lose focus. Maybe it's my age, I don't know, but after 13, I'm like, I'm ready to go on to something else. Even my own music. I need to go cook a steak or something.
You remind me of this artist who sings with a band called Hot Country Nights, and he.
Oh God, that old lead singer guy.
I'm just throwing it your way.
Yeah.
He kind of throws you shade.
I don't like him. I don't like those guys at all.
And I'm curious as to what brought that on.
Well, there's this band called the Hot Country Nights with a K. The K is silent, and they claim to be the greatest '90s country band of all time. They got overlooked. McGraw studied from them, Tim McGraw, and he moved on. Joe Diffie even studied from them.
Chris Gaines.
Everyone went through Chris Gaines. He's the only guy that didn't work out. He's the only one that did not springboard.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one failure they had. The rest of their students all went on to be big stars. Kenny Chesney. So they feel a little overlooked, and they had a big moment. They had a record that came out. I produced it, and it's going to be coming out in 2020. And then COVID struck and killed the record. But they're actually here.
And you went to Montana during 2020. You just said forget it. I'm not doing Hot Country
checking
Nights.
Out. Yeah, no nights, no me. Yeah. Well, I was committed on this project, and I do look a little like the lead singer, slightly.
A touch.
I'm better, younger looking,
taller, younger,
not as creepy.
Dierks Bentley, thanks for doing
Thank
this.
you so much.
Follow Music Row on X at Music Row Country, on Instagram at Music Row Official. Music Row is produced by Shed of Dreams.